know about reflexes?
It's
It's involuntary.
Yep. Involuntary. Who said fast?
I did.
Rapid. Predictable.
They occur in response to certain use.
Predictable. That means that if you initiate a reflex, you should get the same result over and over again. This is why you can use a reflex to test somebody's nervous system. It's specifically a part of your peripheral nervous system, the PNS, because it's made of nerves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shake your head and say yes.
Yes.
When you think PNS, you should automatically think either cranial nerves, right? What are the other nerves? Spinal nerves. Yes. So, because we're looking at the pathway of the impulses that are carried along the nerves, this mostly involves nerves and the way that they communicate with each other. But the reflex arc does synapse. The parts of the reflex arc does synapse in the brain or in the spinal cord. If you can have spinal reflexes or you can have cortical reflexes of the cortex of the brain. So, reflexes are always involuntary. That means you can't control them. They are rapid, they happen really fast, and they're predictable. The same response should occur each time. Each of these things, called a reflex arc, has five parts or 5 components. So on your page 248, what's number 1? What's number 1? Sensory what?
Receptor.
That's okay. Sensory receptor. This is where the stimulus is going to be received, right? What's an example of a receptor? What's in the picture?
The muscles, the lines.
That muscle spindle that receives, if you have a stretch to your muscle or a tendon, it receives that stimulus. Other receptors, those things associated with your senses, touch, taste, vision, those are all examples of, the cells that carry those are all examples of sensory receptors. So we'll say like a touch receptor in your finger. Or it could be like a taste receptor, like your taste buds on your tongue, or the cells in your ear so that you can actually hear. What's part 2? No, because it goes in the order. Sensory neuron. Sensory neuron. So, put your finger on the sensory neuron in your picture for me, please. Find the sensory neuron in your picture. What you will see is that it connects to the sensory receptor. There should be an arrow going to the direction away from the receptor, and it's going to make its way towards the central nervous system. So your sensory receptor is blue here. Yours is blue. Put your finger on it so I can see you know what I'm talking about. Your sensory receptor is blue. Yes, this is a neuron. That's a neuron. Okay, so you have a sensory receptor, a sensory neuron. What do you have at number 3?
Integrating center. 3. Integrating center.
Integration center is going to be where you have your sensory neuron meet your motor neuron. It can meet the motor neuron directly, like actually connect or communicate with each other directly, or there can be an association neuron that's in between the two. So, based on the integration center, this is what really determines whether or not you have a monosynaptic reflex arc or a polysynaptic reflex arc. So let me define synapse for you. This part of this word, synapse. A synapse is basically where 2 neurons meet in this case, right? So, on your picture, I think your neurons are drawn with like little stick figures like this. Yeah. So it has a cell body. has an axon. Then it has axon terminals. I didn't draw any dendrites. Dendrites would be up here. So now it has dendrites. Okay. So look, find your sensory neuron. Again, put your finger on it. Find sensory neuron. The picture, whatever picture you're looking at, do you have one short neuron or does it connect to a long neuron? Does it go to a long, then it goes to, go to a short, then a long, or does it go to another long one? This one goes to another long one. This one goes to another long one. So how many meeting points do you have? How many synapses do you have? Look at the picture. I'm going to take this off. The ends of these are called axon terminals. I'm going to erase this. This is a synapse. How many synapses do you have in your picture? How many do you have? Where it connects. Where they meet, where two neurons meet. One. The example that you have in your textbook, this patellar reflex, the knee-jerk reflex, is a monosynaptic reflex arc. It only has one meeting point for neurons. You see that? In the extra textbook I gave you, find a polysynaptic reflex arc where there is more than one Okay, does everybody see it? Right there. So, in your textbook, you have the first neuron, a sensory neuron, right? Then the integration center is where your synapses occur. Integration center is not a neuron itself. It's just wherever you have a synapse. Okay, so look, check this out. I'm going to add on to this picture. So let's go ahead and make this polysynaptic. So what I have circled is the synapse. This will be a monosynaptic reflex arc. The example that you have in the textbook is the patellar reflex. Let's go ahead and add another neuron here. Add another neuron. And this is actually going to take us to number 4. What's number 4 on the fourth component? A motor neuron. The motor neuron is going to send impulses away from the central nervous system. So if you notice, the impulses are leaving that spinal cord. Where is it going? It's going to the, be specific. What is it connected to? Where is the impulse from this motor neuron going? To the muscles of the leg, yeah. Because motor neuron always sends an impulse to an effector. In this case, it's the muscles of the quadriceps. So, here. Now that we have made this polysynaptic, let's count the synapses together. Here's 1, here's 2. So we have more than one, so it's polysynaptic, right? Before I added this, there was only one synapse that was monosynaptic. So this green neuron would be called an interneuron. That's not always there, right? Remember the first example with a monosynaptic, there is no interneuron. Now that I've added this becomes an interneuron, and now this is polysynaptic. Again, the integration center may contain a secondary neuron called an interneuron, or it may not. If it's monosynaptic, it looks like this. This is your sensory neuron. this becomes your motor neuron, right? But if I go ahead and make this a polysynaptic reflex arc, where this becomes my motor neuron, and this connects to the effector, this is now called an interneuron. Now I have two synapses. This is a polysynaptic reflex arc. The last part of the whole reflex arc, where does it stop? Effector, which is going to be a muscle or a gland, right? You can pause it.
I don't know about pausing.